Hello and welcome to an amazing podcast. This is the Shadow Blade D.
This is Joe, two first names, Logan.
This is an Amazon drone disguised as Matt.
And we are talking about the anime of the season, Ninja Kamui, aka John Wick with Cyberpunk Ninjas. And, alright, I'm going to start
That's
off.
exactly what I thought.
This, of all the shows we've watched, this is probably the first one I've really legitimately fell in love with. Like, I really enjoyed Delicious in Dungeon, but this just, it hits all my notes. It has the cyberpunk stuff, it has the ninja stuff, it has the good action. Directed by the same guy who did, the same director as Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. The God of High School, which terrifies me because this could easily go in that same direction. And Garo Vanishing Line. So a lot of really good stuff. And Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Sung-Hoo Park. And just to catch you guys up, it follows the adventures of Joe Logan, which is the most protagonist, edgelord, anime character, like, ninja name I've ever heard in my life. Like, I have to imagine the people tracked him down just because they heard what his freaking name is. They might as well have called him Joe Wolverine. But follows Joe's path as he seeks revenge against the evil ninja organization that murdered his family. This show has amazing action, awesome music, cool character designs, and all in all, I'm really enjoying it. What do you guys think?
I agree with everything you said. It's definitely my favorite show of the season. And yeah, I pretty much what I thought about it when after watching the first two episodes is like, this is John Wick the anime. Like, that's what it seems. But what I'm curious about is whether it actually is going to be John Wick in terms of like how the plot progresses, or if there's going to be a twist or something like that. But yeah, I'm liking it.
I don't think my opinion is going to be welcome here. So,
oh, fun! Let's have fun. Let's have some fun.
I liked it much better after the first episode, I think.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I like me two cops that are goofy, I guess, or detectives rather. I think that the first episode, like, everyone knew what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew exactly what was going to happen.
I saw.
I mean, I didn't necessarily know. I was like, I knew, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen. You know, I was hoping something else would happen. Maybe, I don't know.
I was hoping something more interesting would happen.
I
guess.
But
I saw his family. I was literally looking at my watch and was just like, okay, when are they going to get murdered? when is this kid going to die? They're dragging this out. This better be a spectacular death. I wanted to see, like, and what happened? That was a letdown. I wanted, like, them to do something like the ninjas just fire a rocket launcher at him in the middle of his son's birthday party, or like they drive a steamroller through his house, like JoJo style. But this, no, it was so boring, and they like lingered on it so hard.
Does nobody does nobody who writes these have a family? It's a genuine question. Does anyone who writes an anime, are they all born like orphans?
This is the most overly idealistic. Like, this man has a family of red flags, of death flags. Oh my god. It was so tragic that, like, his family died and they were all 12 weeks from retirement. How could this happen? How?
I want to see a show that has a family that gets killed, and like the day before they killed, they had an argument or something, and that way when they die, it's like you have that like residual, like, I didn't even like get to have like a proper like war moment before they died. I mean, that's all like wish fulfillment stuff. Not that the show needs to do it. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
The amount of times you watch anime, it's like a really happy family, and there's like a stupid child that's like, "I love you, daddy." No,
I wanna
you
be
what didn't
just
help?
like you.
The first episode, okay, on Adult Swim, they had the English dub on for free. So I watched with the English dub, and the dialogue sounds so much more ridiculous whenever you watch. As soon as like,
Oh, thank you so much for saying that because, okay. Because, I mean, I'll let you finish though before I say.
yeah,
what
no.
I was gonna say.
As
Sorry.
soon as you like switch it back to Japanese, oh my god, my voice cracked. As soon as you switch it back to Japanese, it sounds so much cooler. But like the lines he's saying are still like so much edgier. But like, oh my god! And this, it might be that the dialogue is just tilted. It's just we have like a cool association with whenever stuff is set Japanese.
Matt, thank you. You're saving me so much because I thought I was really so. Now that I know you feel the same way, I know that I'm not like just so much of a weeb that I can't appreciate I can't appreciate English at all. Like literally when I was listening to the opening, okay, this might be too much, but when I was listening to the opening songs, I was like, huh, I wonder if this was Japanese. And then I kind of like strained my ears a little bit to pretend it was Japanese, and I was like, huh, this actually does sound better.
Dude, the opening. Okay, the opening. Are you talking about the opening song?
Yeah, and the ending.
It is Japanese. Like the band who did it, Cold Rain, they did couple of tracks for Jujutsu Kaisen. In fact, they did the whole. If you remember the fight between like the weird mouth guy and the weird back Chippendales model, they did the final ending song for that.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense then. But yeah, like for some reason I thought I was like intending to actually just watch the dub because I know this is like an American produced show.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was like, yeah, so it's probably intended, like its original format is probably English. But I was watching the English dub and I was like, this still feels like a Japanese show that's been dubbed over in English. And then I switched to Japanese and I was like, yeah, this feels better. So maybe it's just that they couldn't, I don't know what it is. Maybe they just had to make the lip flaps general enough to fit either Japanese or English, so it makes it so that it doesn't really sound, it doesn't feel right in English for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
no, I didn't even realize it was originally English in English.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's made by Adult Swim. It's like specifically produced by them.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I kind of wish this was more John Wick, and instead of his family dying, it was just their dog. Like the
I
dog
agree.
knew too much about their organization, so they had to put it down.
I think it's
I mean,
like too
I'm glad they didn't
heavy-handed.
copy it that much.
Well, no, I feel like it should have been something like a little bit more, a little less edgy than like his entire family getting killed. I don't know.
Like what?
What, like John Wick with his dog, but don't do the dog because they already did the dog. I'm just saying.
Why
like-
something? But okay, but I don't know about that because wasn't the thing with John Wick that the dog was like the tipping point because he had already lost his family before that,
Yeah.
or at least his wife. Or
yeah,
whatever?
but that's like kind of what I'm pointing out is like this. I feel
Well,
like it's
John-
harder to get a feel of him, especially with how much he like his entire family dying there and having that big of a change. I don't know, I just don't really like the. Actually, you go D. I don't know.
So the reason why I think the John Wick dog dying thing works is because a lot of people can relate to losing a pet, to losing like a dog or something like that. Because yeah, dogs only live like at least 7 years, so that's something we all can relate to, and we automatically get into like John Wick's shoes, and we have that whole escapist power fantasy of just mowing down mobsters and stuff. With this, it's so him losing his entire family is such a over the top tragedy that there is a disconnect to it, and it can sometimes stop us from just indulging in the power fantasy of haha ninja fight go boom.
Okay.
But man, the action in the first episode was good.
Yeah,
It was
action's
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you definitely get the same feeling of God of High School and Garo, and I really appreciate that You get a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen in this too, but you have a lot more weight and more, I guess, density to the characters. Also, Mike Morris, he either needs 30% more Samuel Jackson or 70% more Black Dynamite.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what his point is. Like, I just don't get why he's there. He's pretty much useless so far.
He is the straight man and the audience surrogate. He's the
Yeah.
one who's there to be like, Nani? Ninjas? I'm so sick of these mother-loving ninjas in this Monday through Friday town. These racist cops trying to shoot unarmed ninjas in the back.
Well, he's definitely not like a normal person, because I feel like if that was me, I would have just quit from that job a long time ago to begin with. So as soon as mysterious killings started popping up, I would have been quit.
Listen, I agree. Like, all that blood and like, listen, it's a hospital. Hospitals have blood. This isn't that out of the normal. Also, I appreciate that he was able, like, I don't know why, but mass murders in hospitals, I appreciate that for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because they're all, like, directly next to a morgue. And, like, there's a sense of, like, oh, that's really convenient. I feel good for, like, the body cleaners.
Also, it's funny how all the nurses and doctors conveniently just left their shift as this great ninja battle is happening in the hospital.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, but before I realized that this is like a produced by it's like American made, right?
Well, American Order, I believe.
Okay, because I was gonna say it feels like someone watched a bunch of like American movies about like soldier guy loses family and goes on rampage or whatever, and like made that into a ninja anime. That's the vibe I was getting from it, where I thought it was like someone in Japan was really obsessed with like American culture and decided to make their own thing, but I guess I was wrong.
Are you saying?
I mean,
I could not expect a Japanese writer coming up with the name Joe Logan. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's such a generic main protagonist name that like it felt like they like after watching a bunch of like American shows, like especially those like ones where it's like old ex-veteran comes out of retirement to kick some like youth's ass and stuff like that.
Jack Maverick.
Jack Maverick, or
he's back
John.
from Vietnam and he's hungry for blood.
I mean, I don't know. I could see. I could just. A lot of people have seen these movies, so I don't know.
I don't think, even though I said I did like it a lot better after the first episode.
Wait, maybe you said it already and I missed it, but like, what didn't you like? What was the issue with it?
It felt like very
Too serious, like
edgy and too serious, and like in a way that it's just like it doesn't seem that aware of what it is at all. To where it was like a little bit like almost like we're saying something very profound when it's not actually that profound, you know. But I think after the second the second episode, I feel like it was a better feel for the show. Which I like a bit better.
Listen, man, I'm just saying, like, how much, like, $5? I don't think those two guys were actually with, like, the evil organization. I just think DoorDash drivers in this universe are just really This is what happens when you don't tip.
Oh, that was kind of funny. I like the DoorDash guys constantly coming through.
Yeah.
And also, so what does this mean? Is the story pretty much that he left this ninja organization after they went global, and because of that, he's being hunted down for leaving?
That's what I'm assuming right now, but I think it could probably go. I feel like we haven't seen like the whole picture yet.
Okay. Yeah,
Also, I
hope
really
so.
like the world building in this. I appreciate how subtle it is. Like,
Subtle.
yeah, this is a very futuristic-y world, but it's not so futuristic where I have like a bunch of questions about. I'm not wondering how any of this
yeah.
stuff works.
You know what I was thinking actually? I was thinking if like when I was watching this, it made me realize that maybe like we're already in the cyberpunk hellscape like right now and we just don't see it. Because when I'm seeing how similar this world is to ours, I'm like, wait a minute. Are we already there? Like did it already happen?
The worst part is we don't even have
when
ninjas.
you're saying like all the VR stuff and like the Alza and all that.
That was such a dumbass. Yeah, like most gangs are doing meetings in VR right now. It's like, motherfucker, what kind of gang does VR meetings?
Yeah, what is this?
It's a little.
Back in my day.
We had Zoom.
It kind of that's I think what upset me. It got me some like Black Mirror vibes at first, and like I have a lot of problems with Black Mirror, and that's it being too like edgy without enough like substance. And there's always like stuff in there where it's like I do actually like the whole like it's the main enemy is going to be like tech fascists, like just a bunch of tech bros. Like clearly that's what they're going for, is that like organization is kind of behind all this. I forget what it's called again. The
Azu.
yeah
Alza.
yeah. And like that's a bit more interesting. I think too. I was a little confused what they were going to do now that he's like lost his whole family, and I guess it's just like on a revenge spree. But I think as we learn more about like the world, it became like a little bit more interesting.
I hope they do something more interesting with this character than. Well, first of all, I hope they do something with this character, and if they do, I hope that maybe they do something more interesting than just, he realizes revenge is not the right way to go, and that's it. Like, or if they do that, I hope they do it in some interesting way.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen before.
Well, I think that's kind of part of the problem with what I was saying earlier. Is like the family's not very believable to me. So like when they die, I don't really care too much.
Yeah.
So like the kind of core of his character is my family died, I must go on a revenge spree. And that doesn't work well.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. The family was believable to me. I didn't have any problem believing it. So I don't know.
I think me and Matt are just really cynical because when I saw the family, the first thing that came to my mind is like, oh my god, I have like a solid 15 minutes of this like bullshit tragedy build up before I actually get to see a cool ninja fight. What the hell?
I thought the same thing, but I just thought about it like in just like the opposite way, I guess. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, they're probably going to die, but I really hope they don't. They seem like such a nice family. And then they ended up dying.
Hey, what if the wife was the main character, instead? That'd be fun.
Honestly?
A little bit.
That's what I mean, I kind of suspected that at first because I thought it wasn't just a throwaway line. Like, I thought it would be foreshadowing when they first introduced them and she says that, like, you guys run away while I fight the demons. So I thought that was, like, foreshadowing that she was actually going to be, like, really badass. Yeah.
I
don't know. Maybe she was.
Honestly, I kind of wish the family didn't get killed. I kind of wish they just went the whole, like, 4 kids and just say, like, oh, man, my family was kidnapped by ninjas. Because at least
honestly,
that way,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because at least that way for me, I can have he would have a goal that I could really root for. Whereas right now it's just like, yeah, kill the ninjas.
My family got eaten by a dragon.
I totally agree with you. That would be a way more like that would get me a lot more invested if like there was hope of him getting his family back. But like the fact that it's just watching him go on a killing spree, that's like the best prospect right now. I mean, it's interesting. I'm gonna watch, but
yeah.
But it's got good action, really so
yeah. What were you gonna say, Matt?
No, I was gonna say that the family gets eaten by a dragon.
Yep.
And they have to go back into the dungeon to
track it down.
Back. Yeah.
Listen, we need an urgent task, man. That's too casual.
They eat a bunch of demons to get to them again.
Also, is it just me, or is Miss not that cool of a Miss bending not that cool of power.
I think it's really cool. I think it's an interesting take on ninja powers, and I like the fact that he just uses his an aura of like intimidation that's so like palpable that like they can see it and it scares them off, and I think or like it can distract them in battle. I think that's pretty cool.
I do like how he has literal shadow clones, or like at least shadow limbs, as opposed to like Naruto's like, oh yeah, they're just clones of me.
It feels very very ninja like. Like I feel like if you were gonna make ninja realistic, I think this is probably the coolest way I've seen it.
Yeah.
I like that's a funny statement.
This is the most realistic ninja.
No, it's just I was gonna say something else, but it's just like, yeah, if he wanted to make ninja realistic, as if it wasn't a thing ever. Anyways, I was gonna talk about how.
Well, no, I mean,
yeah.
I just meant like ninjas having powers, but
anime ninjas.
Yeah, I know that's what you meant. It was a funny statement on its own. But yeah, I like how he tore off his face and then revealed generic protagonist face.
Oh yeah. I like how they made that a whole thing at the end of episode 1, and it was supposed to feel like a big deal. And I was like, okay, why? They did a whole flashback showing that they actually had different faces the whole time. I was like, okay, like I don't really care.
You can't have a bearded main protagonist in anime. It doesn't work like that.
Oh my god, he was Kirito the entire time. He was isekai.
But yeah, I thought it was fun. I don't know. It was good.
Like, we better have. Like, I really want them to keep ramping up like the goofy ninja shenanigans. Like, the fact that they were like he was literally fighting a 4-armed DoorDash driver for the second episode. That was so good. I want them to keep ramping up the stupid. You know.
I think they're gonna keep ramping it up, but I don't think it's gonna go necessarily quote unquote stupid in the way you want it to go. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna get like super ridiculous, pretty much. But maybe. I guess we'll see.
Also, I'm thinking back to the line, like his monologue with the guy who killed his like family. Oh yes, you'll hear bones breaking, souls shattering, agony. And it's like,
oh yeah,
I was rolling my eyes so hard with that.
He's so edgy.
Really? I was like, oh wow.
Oh really?
I was
like, my family.
That place sounds scary.
Burned in your memories.
I keep getting I'm 13 in this deep vibes from him, but I mean, maybe I'm just kind of.
I mean, you're probably right.
Right.
But I will say,
I can't tell. This man is either a horrible interrogator or a horrible executioner, because that was a piss poor job.
Yeah.
Like how? Like you don't like hate to question the Joker, but if you want to interrogate someone, don't stab them a bunch of times. Go for the fingers. Go for the hands.
I think the intent was always to torture and kill them.
Mm-hmm. I'm shocked. Like, I'm trying to figure out. I love how like getting stabbed repeatedly in the stomach for 12 days straight isn't fatal for ninjas. I like that so much.
Yeah.
His family were wimps. I'm sorry. He should have raised them better.
She should have been able to solo that one guy.
Yeah. His kid was lacking.
Yeah, the kid. God, I think I just hate anime children. I think it's what it is. Anytime I see one, it brings the show down like a star. Like when we were watching Trigun, as soon as like the Million Knives flashback with the kid, that's burned into my memory. I hate anime children.
Everyone that isn't Anya.
Yeah, anyone that isn't Anya. Anya is a devious little piece of shit, and that's how you actually rate a child.
Yeah, exactly. Like whenever they try to make them all like, oh, super perfect and innocent, or they make them
Daddy,
like overly
I love you
edgy.
so much, and then he's shut up, kid. You're gonna die anyway.
Humanity is a curse, and I'll kill them all. It's like, yeah, go drink your juice
Go
box, little
drink
brat.
your juice box.
So,
dumbass.
but you know, I thought what would happen was I thought he would die, Joe Logan and his wife, but I thought the kid would actually survive.
I was thinking about
I
it
would
too.
like that better.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why, but when I hear the name Joe Logan out loud by normal people, it just sounds so worse.
It sounds
to
like
me.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. And I can't tell if maybe it's supposed to be Joe Rogan because in Japanese, you know, the L and the R.
Yeah.
I was thinking
What did they
that.
say in the English dub? What did they call him in the English dub? Was it
No, they
Rogan
literally
or
call
Logan?
him Joe Logan in the English dub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's Logan.
Oh god, the sub just went down so much low. You just took the sub down by like 10 points for me again.
No, the sub is definitely better than the dub, as much as I hate to say it.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the openings and endings?
I liked them well enough. Yeah, I thought they were pretty good.
I agree. Like they weren't great, but they were serviceable. And I'm a Cold Rain fan, so I'll probably listen to the opening in the background, but I probably won't go out my way to actually like rewatch it or anything.
I was gonna say, kind of fits that edgy vibe to it, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't mind too much.
It has the God. Linkin Park would have been the perfect soundtrack for this. This is such a perfect 2007 anime.
This is what I was gonna say. This reminds me. Okay, I feel like Ninja Kamui is gonna be like one of those classics that people consider along the lines of like what are those mid 2000s ones like Samurai Champloo, like
Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai. But there's another one, the one with the girl, Black Lagoon.
Okay, there we go. I was about to say the one with the girl, like Sailor Moon.
No, but like I feel like it's gonna be considered like
Hellsing.
with one of those. It has a very similar vibe, I think.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if someone like Team 4-Star did like a redub of this, I feel like it would just. I feel like having like that edgy humor side of it would fit really good with this.
I agree.
Like an abridged version of like Attack on Titan, I don't think would fit as much, but I feel like an abridged version of this is an abridged series would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I agree.
I think if it leaned more into how edgy it is, I think I would like it a little bit more.
Like Joe just talks like Ben Affleck Batman, not Ben Affleck,
The
Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah, Christian Bale Batman.
Dog.
Just obnoxiously like, I stand in the rain because it's the only way where I can feel things.
I let the match burn
Yeah.
against my fingers so I can feel something. You won't have that problem because you'll be on fire. My family is dead. Anything else, guys?
No.
Not really.
Final verdicts then?
Okay, yeah, I'll go first. I think I would probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's very good. This reminds me of... Okay, I guess I do have one more thing to say, which is this is kind of like a prime example of... If you look at the first two episodes of this versus the first two episodes of... was it Metallic Rouge? Mm-hmm. I think it was the first one we watched, right? How Metallic Rouge did their cold open and then introducing the actual plot in episode 2 versus how this one did it. I think this one did it a lot better.
It did immensely better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more, at least you can understand what's happening.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead. You can say what you can say.
Like, the issue with Metallic Rouge was it front-loaded all of its world building, and none of the world building was all that interesting. With this, it jumped straight into the action, and the world building is simple enough where you can follow it, but still be invested in it.
Yeah. pretty much. I agree. So yeah, I think pretty much all that to say, I think it's a good strong start to the series. I want to like find out more about the world and the organization behind all of this, and maybe hopefully see some more character work happen with Joe with Joe Logan. Yeah, and also, I mean, of course, it goes without saying, but I should say it. Obviously, the animation and the action, all that was just disgusting, filthy, just so good.
I know.
And yeah, I can't wait to see like 10 more episodes of this.
I think it's only going to have 7, which I'm kind of happy about.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm fine with that too. Mm-hmm. Oh, and my rating, I forgot to give that. Oh, I did give it actually, right? 8.5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For me, sorry, traffic. Good God. For me, my knee-jerk rating is a 9 out of 10, but I'll agree with a 8.5. I think the weakest part for me is just how generic his family was. And I do feel like Joe isn't the most interesting protagonist. I feel like it's hard to make that distinction because we've seen so little of him. But yeah, the action was awesome. The visuals and animation were great. I do really like the character designs, and all in all, really good time.
Yeah, I like the character designs too.
D, are you driving while doing this episode?
No, there was literally a car
okay.
just passing my place. Oh my God.
It's the organization that are going after you and your family.
Oh God, I didn't pay my DoorDash properly.
You and your wife and child who are always happy to see you.
Listen. Like, 10% tip is not that bad. I was being generous, okay?
As for me, I think I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Good God, man.
That's not bad. I gave the other ones similar ratings.
Yeah, that's why that's bad.
I like this, and I'm interested to see where it goes. But
he just isn't in like with it.
I still think I'm having a lot of trouble liking the main protagonist yet, or at least like really getting like attached to him. And a lot of that has to do with like, I don't want to say he's like generic, but like he's not, or I don't know. I'm just not on board with him yet. I think it's starting to get better, especially since he has other characters to kind of play off of him. And I am interested to see what they're going to do with the world, because some of the stuff they set up is genuinely interesting. So like that rating could easily go up, but as for now, I enjoy it, but it's like not my favorite show.
I will say, in like your defense, if this show didn't have the fight scenes, I would probably give it a 6.5 as well.
Well, I think like I do think it's getting better. So like I think that's a good sign. So I could easily see my rating going up, but as it is right now.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, the fight scenes are doing a lot of the work, but I think it's worth it and it works.
Noise.
Okay, so yeah, that's been our first impressions of Ninja Kamui. Thank you for watching, and come back next time. I guess next time we'll decide what we're going to be watching going forward. But yeah, come back next week to find out what that is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.